Welcome back to Dune. Do you even need an Assault Ornithopter, or is it enough to have the Scout? Also, which Mark V pieces should you craft first as soon as you're in the Duraluminum era? And are there Mark VI pieces you 100% need that actually make you faster? And lastly, how to infinitely glide as a Scout Ornithopter and how to fly as an Assault Ornithopter. To answer the question from the beginning, you definitely want both in the long run for a couple of reasons. What are some of the big differences right now? The Scout Ornithopter can be stored into your vehicle backup tool, which means that I can actually have my Scout with me while I'm flying around in my Assault. Then, the next one. The Scout Ornithopter has 500 storage, while the Assault Ornithopter actually boasts 1,000 plus storage. That's quite amazing already, especially when you want to move all your stuff out here to build a deep desert base. Mine is currently in the E row of the deep desert and has quite some machinery in there, including down here a whole generator floor. That's more than the 500 storage of the Scout Ornithopter has. The final big difference would be speed. With the Scout Ornithopter, you fly up as high as possible, as fast as possible. And then as you get the 750 altitude, you're going to glide in the vulture mode. And currently with my Mark V wings, engine, generator, everything, we're reaching the 173, is it? While we actually can infinitely glide. Because if you put your dot above the pyramid, you're going to be gaining altitude and losing some speed, and every now and then you tap the W button to get some speed back, then you lose some altitude, but then you're gaining altitude again to lose some speed, but then you're getting more speed. You get the drift. So this is 172 Mark V just going away with 500 storage. How does it look for the Assault Ornithopter after I gathered that spice field? The Assault Ornithopter, things are a bit different because he can't infinitely glide and gain back altitude and then some speed and altitude. You get the drift. And one of the reasons for that is the Assault Ornithopter can have storage and also a boost module together. Number one thing, the boost module does not use up more fuel. It actually just drives your energy up. You also want to get to that 750 altitude, but you're doing it different. I lift off a bit, activate the booster, go into vulture mode, and then just point my mouse upwards. And in vulture mode, mouse pointed upwards, you're gaining speed and you're gaining altitude while your temperature keeps rising because of the booster. But I can go up to 750 like this while actually going to 120, 130 speed already. Deactivate the booster and keep gliding. Now your top speed is only 150 something. For me, it has turned out the best to have the point in the middle of the pyramid in the horizontal line, and then as you're losing speed again, tap that W to get the speed back. It leads to not that much altitude loss while your speed more or less stays the same. Sometimes I pull it even lower so I don't have to put W that much. As you then lose your altitude, I'm kind of waiting until I'm down to like 500 something. You activate your booster again, pull the mouse up, and here I wouldn't go crazy up in the beginning, because you will drop down to 19 and then already gain up altitude and speed. If you pull the mouse up super aggressive right away, you drop all the way down to 80 before you see, like here, now I'm all the way down to 80 before you actually gain the speed back. So it's kind of like, I really recommend you to be like, slightly nose pulled up instead of fully. Don't worry to overheat. Technically, it's going to damage your generator, but I'll be honest with you, I have a generator I found, I have an engine that I found. I didn't craft these parts, I found them in the A row of the deep desert, and you can see they were 50% damaged from the get-go. They're still around about 50% damaged, and I'm just consistently overloading my generator. Now you notice that the Assault is slower, 20 slower, and that's fine. I mean, 20 slower for 1,000 storage more doesn't mean you can make 2 trips with the Scout where you make 1 with the Assault. And that's what I'm using the Assault for. What is the use of the Assault Ornithopter? Mine is in the deep desert right now. Do you need it for the Haga Basin? Absolutely not. No. If you're in the deep desert, if you have a deep desert E-row base, then the Assault Ornithopter is amazing because of that 1,000 storage. I fly out, for example, in the I-row all the way. That would be I2. This island here has around 12 titanium nodes. Titanium is incredibly heavy, but the Assault Ornithopter can store 1,000 titanium, whereas your Scout can only get 500 in there. One trip, easy peasy, getting myself those sweet resources. And the same goes for big spice fields. My Assault Ornithopter can fit around 8,000 spice in there. If there's a big spice field, you don't want to go back and forth with a Scout. Now, big spice fields are hogged by people. There's going to be 10 to 12 Ornithopters farming that spice field together. You don't want to just be with a Scout and waste your time going back and forth. No. We're going with the Assault and we're filling this thing up to the very brim. If I had titanium and found a big spice field, I would drop all the titanium from my inventory to actually use my Assault Ornithopter for that. But what do you then still need the Scout Ornithopter for? Because the Scout Ornithopter ain't useless. My Scout Ornithopter is used for trips to research stations. I want to fly to F6 quickly to do that Mark 6 research station. Hey, I'll use my Scout because I'm not going to farm anything. I'm just here to do the research station after research station after research station. That's what I'm using my Scout for. And not only the research station, what if I now want to actually go back to the Haga Basin? Because that's where most of my water is. That's where my garment fabricator is, my weapon fabricator, and so on. Well, then I'll take the spice melanges from the medium spice refinery. I'll store that over to the Scout Ornithopter because that one is just faster. And then I'll bring my spice melanges and also my plastanium ingots to the Haga Basin base with the Scout Ornithopter. Good. We've now determined you want the Scout and you want the Assault Ornithopter. The good thing is that the Assault, you can find every single part actually in the A-row deep desert bases. So if you don't dare to go deeper yet, if you're still scared and you want to farm some of the research station here, just farm the research station in the A-row. You might actually get a full Assault Ornithopter at 8. But which pieces should you now craft? What do you actually need? What does make your thing meaningful faster? Do you need a Mark 6 generator? Do I want Mark 6 wings? By the way, as a test for your flying skills, I am right now, again, in the E-base, and I need to make it all the way back to 8. So we're going up to the 750, put the nose down, put your mouse slightly above the pyramid, and then tap the W for max speed. And now the question is, can you make it? In one sitting? In one glide? Give it a try. Because if you notice that you have to go all the way back up again, you're not flying efficient yet. You're not doing it the right way. Your mouse is not in the right position. Because right now I say at 690 altitude, 693, right? Now I tap the W twice again to go back to 172 speed, but my altitude kind of stays. So we are hovering around the same altitude. We're actually even gaining altitude. So I have more altitude now than before, right? I'm at 696 while still having my top speed. And I'll be able to keep gliding all the way to the end. If you don't manage to do that yet, you need to train. What is responsible for this speed in an ornithopter? Let's look at the Scout one first. You'll begin with MK4 wings. And these give you 160 glide speed. They have the type normal, turn rating, agility. Okay, we get the generator. That one is responsible for fuel efficiency and temperature rating. And then you get your engine, which determines the hover speed, not the vulture speed. The engine is responsible for lifting you up when you hold that button and try to get as much altitude as possible. Cockpit, just armor. The chassis, just armor. And actually how much fuel fits into your ornithopter. And the hull also armor. Now the first thing you want to craft out of Dur aluminum, if you get to the Mark V era, are the wings. Unquestionable. Because the wings right away increase your glide speed. More glide speed, infinity gliding, fantastic. Second piece you want to make is the engine. If you have more motor speed, if you get faster up, You get faster to that 750 altitude. Now, is it helpful for the Scout Ornithopter to actually go for Mark 6 gear? Your wings would bring you up to 180 glide speed, so I'd say that's pretty damn good. And for your engine, we're talking about 115 going up instead of 95. Here I would say that the wings are mandatory. The other two are absolutely optional, because at that point, 95 or 115 going up, it's not going to save you that much time. But having that glide speed increased and you're going to fly around with 183 instead of 173, that's 10 more. That's actually quite significant. And if you actually manage to get unique blueprint wings, is that something you want to have? Well, the glide speed is still 180, but the type is now speed instead of normal. Now, for the love of God, don't ask me what that means. If you actually faster get the top speed with these than with the normal wings, because we're actually losing turn rating, losing maneuverability, supposedly we're gaining speed. For the Assault Ornithopter, we have to ask a different question, because that one we can actually only craft in Mark 5. So we're kind of have the Mark 5 wings. We have the Mark 5, like you have Mark 5 everything. So for the Assault is rather the question, what is the one Mark 6 piece that you want? Wings in this case will give us 160 glide speed. Pretty good, I mean 10 speed more, thank you. And the thruster goes up in the thrust rating, normal and glide heavily. Two pieces you definitely want to have. The rest, probably never, if I'm honest with you. Because it's 55 spice melange, 55 spice melange, 55, you know? Like it's so much spice melange plus the plastanium, and that just for a little bit more armor. I want the speed to get the stuff faster, but as a solo player, yeah, I'll get out somehow. But I really don't need that more armor. I'd rather need my spice melange to get that large spice refinery someday, or actually build myself a cool set of armor. That being said, cool set of armor, not really needed. You'd rather be looking for a new weapon to actually deal proper Mark 6 damage. I, for example, was lucky enough to find from a shipwreck myself the sword, and this replica pulled sword actually goes for 152 damage. It's the most damaging weapon. With this, I can 2-hit a Mark 6 opponent with charged hits. If one of the melee guys attacks you, you just get them down. And also the normal shooting guys, you very easily trounce. Most important, don't stress yourself with the Assault Ornithopter. If you have your Scout already and want to dip your toe into the deep desert, if you're not completely done with the Haga Basin yet, if you just entered the aluminum era and you're not really ready for duraluminum yet, that's fine. Do some quests, enjoy your time. But as soon as you want to build that E-row deep desert base with your small spice refinery that you're able to work towards the medium one, you really want to have the Assault. Because with the Assault, again, you can put all the materials in one, fly it out, then position it there, still use your Scout to go back and forth as you can actually store the Scout. But you really want to have the Assault as you start farming the deep desert. Now, am I going to see you make it? Am I going to see you make the Assault Ornithopter and then build this actual deep desert base? Replace the medium spice refinery through a small one and you're good to go.